Okay, we are doing the first set of notes, and we are going to skip the last page of the notes, and I've attached a second page that says compound interest. So we're going to kind of replace the other page with this compound interest page. And you're going to go halfway down the page where you see the box. And in the box, we're going to write this following formula right here. So this is the formula that you're going to fill in to the box on your worksheet. The formula is A equals P times the quantity of 1 plus R over N raised to the NT. Somewhere on your paper next to that box where you filled in the formula, I want you to write down A equals P equals and so on, and we're going to say what each letter represents in terms of the formula. So your A represents your ending value. And again, you are jotting this down somewhere around the box. There's plenty of room, so write down what each letter represents in the formula. P is your starting value. R is your rate, and you must always put the rate as a decimal when you use the formula. So that means your decimal moves 2 spots to the left when you're in percentage form. N is the number of times your interest is compounded. And what we mean by that is how many times do you get interest a year. And T is your time. So this section is a lot of calculator work. It's very important. Notice that I kept the exponents in parentheses. It's very important that you raise it to the product of n times t, not just raise to the n and then times that answer by t. So on the next page, I'll read the example that's written there for you, and we'll fill in the numbers. So it says, suppose your parents invest $1,000 in a savings account that earns 5% interest. How much would be in the account after 18 years if the interest is compounded? And then notice there is several scenarios, so the number of times it's compounded is going to be changing. So the interest, or your starting value, is $1,000. Let me get a different color. Your interest, or your principal, is $1,000. That's how much we're starting with. Your interest rate is 5%, so that means we're dealing with 0.05, and our time is 18 years. Regardless of when your interest is compounded, these three are set in stone, and they never change. So for annually, that means N equals 1. So in the formula, we would have 1,000 times the quantity of 1 plus 0.05 divided by 1 raised to the 1 times 18 power. Now again, obviously you need a calculator to type all this. If you don't have a TI calculator, what I would do is the 0.05 divided by 1, add the 1 to it, then you raise it to the 18th power, and then multiply your final answer by 1,000. So the final answer for this would be 2,406.54. So letter B says compounded semi-annually. So what's really only going to change is your N value. N is now 2. So we would have 1,000 times the quantity of 1 plus 0.05 divided by 2 raised to the 2 times 18. So notice the N changed from 1 to 2. It changes in both spots there. Again, you would use the calculator to calculate this answer, and you should get 2,432.54. It is important that you try typing this on your own because you need to be able to get these final answers on your own. So I would take a moment. If you need to pause the video, please pause it and try typing these. Letter C says compounded quarterly, so that means our N is now 3. So in the formula we'd have 1,000 times the quantity of 1 plus 0.05. And when I said 3, I was just kidding. Quarterly means 4 times a year. So divided by 4 raised to the 4 times 18. Again, if you're not using a nice calculator or your cell phone calculator, you would do 0.05 divided by 4, add 1, raise that to the 4 times 18 power, and then multiply it by 1,000. Final answer should be 2,445.92. So 2 more. Letter D says monthly, so your N is now going to be 12. So let's see if I can get some room here. So we'd have 1,000 raised to the 1 plus 0.05 divided by 12 raised to the 12 times 18. And I can't put that on there, but 12 times 18. And when I do that, we get our final answer of 2,455 and 1 cent. Letter E says daily. So if you're getting interest daily, that means it's happening every single day. So the number of days that are in a year are 365. So your N would now be 365. So we'd have 1,000 times the quantity of 1 plus 0.05 divided by 365 raised to the 365 times 18. So go ahead and take a moment and try and type that. You should get the answer of $2,459.45. So notice, looking at all these answers, you started with the same amount of money, you had the same interest, the same amount of time. What it really affects your answer is the number of times you get your interest compounded. So the daily situation would be the best. You made the most money with that. So on the back of this page, there's a practice problem. I would like you to try that practice problem on the back page. So you're doing the practice A through E. That's all for today.